Hey, what's up guys, this is Oakley and we're going to be doing a siege, but it's not the traditional siege against a walled city. This is going to be an unfortified city, and let's go ahead and pop K so you can see the two armies facing off here, and it's actually going to be two nations, and we're going to have two armies on each side. So taking a look on this front, there's actually going to be a lot of us, but what you can see from the get-go is we're going to be playing a lot with the Iberians. So it's going to be the Lusitani with a lot of these Iberian swordsmen, Lusitani nobles, and Balearic slingers. On the defense, however, are going to be a bunch of Romans. They don't have the walls to hold them back, so the legions are going to have to be the walls themselves. Now, we've decided to split up our forces, basically the same type of assault going on everywhere. A lot of these veteran shield warriors who are very, very strong. The things that the Lusitani have going for them, yes, they're lightly armored, but they are excellent sword fighters. That's one of the things they're recruited for, and they're very good at guerrilla tactics, as Rome would, significantly encounter during the wars with the Lusitani. There are three of those, the wars in Iberian, trying to pacify that region. So I'm not too well versed on that time period, but I do know it was a lot of guerrilla fighting, and the Lusitani and different people of the Iberian Peninsula put up a massive resistance. Especially their leader, who became renowned for guerrilla tactics, Viriathus. I can't remember too much his name. I don't really know too much on the period, so I don't want to talk about it too much. But I just know that that whole conflict was extremely extended. The siege of Numantia itself became famous, and it would actually take Scipio Aemilianus, the famous general who destroyed Carthage. It would take him to quell the region. Anyways, like I said, we're making the approach on various positions. We basically have Balearic slingers in various locations to try and start to ding at the opponents, just to try and poke and prod at them. I have Scutari spearmen. A lot of these guys, like I said, are lightly armed, but the advantage of these guys is they're good in close quarters, and they also, all of them, come with the ability to throw javelins from a distance, which we figured would be a good way for us to pick apart at our opponents. My ally here is going to be on this flank, moving forward with veteran shield warriors. He's going to be trying to push on the Romans, but they have some good defenses with, look at these, Praetorian Guards, a lot of veterancy there, Legionnaires, and then their own auxiliary Balearic slingers. So they're going to be able to fend us off basically everywhere we can't get through, except for here. This is going to be the weak point that I identified. I know that there's gladiator spearmen. These guys are extremely, they're good at close quarter combat, but you can see they're very susceptible to damage from ranged units, and that's exactly what I'm going to go ahead and exploit. Let's go ahead and put this on play. So I have my ranged Balearic slingers in the back, and now you can see the ability of troops to throw javelins is excellent. That's one of the advantages you have as Lusitani. It's one of the things that people started to do when they played Rome 2, is actually start to use the Lusitani and kind of spam a lot of units as Lusitani, because if each unit wields the ability to have javelins, you can actually get really cost-effective trades with these guys. So that's exactly what I'm doing, and I'm going to be picking apart the gladiators. You can see it doing a tremendous amount of damage as my opponent tries to get out of position. It's just going to take more and more gladiators out with them. So this is going to result in a collapse of this flank. And you can see the closer he charges, the better my chance of hitting him is with my shots. And I'm just going to pull back. I'm going to wait for him to get out of position. So here come the gladiators trying to chase my men, eagerly pursuing my guys. And we're just going to pull back, and then I'm going to hit him exactly in the flank. A couple more javelins left right there to get him. I'm going to halt his charge by hitting him in the flank like this. So this unit is going to be stopped. I'm going to start swinging forces around for counter assaults. And this is exactly what you want to do. If you guys like to micro, or even just a little bit, you can be super cost effective. Your opponent can only really target one of your men to chase down. Pull that guy off, let your guys get flanking shots, and then surround him with decisive numbers. So he goes, these gladiators who, they look brutal, and they know how to handle themselves in 1v1s in the arena. That's not going to be the case when they're fully surrounded like this. So I've absolutely shattered that gladiator unit. This other gladiator spearman unit is going to get thrashed, and I'm going to be pushing through. He does have some hastati, but again, not the best units thrown up against me. This is where I'm going to put in some of these Lusitani nobles, who are very good. You can see they're still at 160 men. Let's take a look at the... Oh, Triarii, actually. Sorry, not hastati. I've lost 2 men, and he has lost 28 men, so I'm definitely going to have the advantage here. And more of these guys are now going to be swarming into the vicinity. I have more Iberian swordsmen lining up to shoot into the backs of these Triarii. Meanwhile, we're going to be continuing to charge out here. I sent forward some of my Scutari cav into the mix to chase down these Syrian archers who are trying to help, reinforce this position. We're not going to allow that to happen. I'm going to be swarming out more guys. Meanwhile, over here, actually, let's put this on pause just so I can explain. Basically, nothing has happened here. We tried to sally forth a little bit, but the Praetorian Guards and the remaining auxiliary Balearic Slingers are tearing apart our forces. We don't have the tools to crack this, which is why I'm holding back here. I don't want to engage. I just want to keep the Romans tied down there. Same thing over here. He's starting to push forward. I'm going to pull forward with my veteran shield warriors, get point blank range, throw some javelins into the Syrian archers, prevent him from dealing damage from a distance, and then pull back myself and wait for the defenses to be breached here. Meanwhile, my ally is doing a good job of swarming again where the opponent is weak. Hastati are not the guys you want to throw against the Lusitani. They really won't hold up to our advanced swordsmanship. Let's go ahead and put this on play. Romans are doing a pretty successful job of countercharging us. Again, like I said, our troops are light, so that's a good move. But now we're just going to be swarming in and amongst the ranks of Hastati, getting in everywhere, tying them down. And now we're going to start to commit some of our spearmen. Again, more of these javelin volleys getting in. Almost equivalent to the Roman pillar exchange coming in there. Just enough to tie them down. And then in all these little gaps, this is where we're going to be able to thread the cavalry. Oh, actually, that's really cool. There's a little monument here. I'd never seen that. That's really awesome. Let's make sure we don't miss out on too much of the action. Over here, we're continuing to clean up the Triarii. Like I said, strength in numbers here. Isolate and surround the enemy units, and this is how you want to destroy units with minimal losses. So there you go. Shoot through the gladiators. Aid up the more resilient Triarii with minimal losses. Some nice kills right there. And then we're going to reform, and then we're going to charge through here. I already have some Balearic Slingers. See me starting to position myself over here. Threw in Scutari Cav and my allies' Iberian Cavalry into the rear of this Legatus and some Legionnaires. Just want to disrupt them, disrupt the lines here. We're starting to do more damage to his lines. Some javelins, some stones, some slings. I love how these shots are actually being rendered in the game. I can't believe they have physics, that games have gotten to this amount, that these projectiles are coming from over there. And I've seen them like roll down hills. I can't believe we're actually to the point in video games where we can actually model projectiles like this. I think it's crazy. But anyways, despite that, the battle is going to be underway here. My veteran shield warriors, I think I'm going to accept this fight. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, there we go. We're going to charge in through here. So there we go. Getting combat in right here. And what I'm trying to do is not get my guys engaged right away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on the flank. And like I said, with the javelins that you have here, you might as well use them at your disposal. So I'm going to try and form up. And there you go. They're tempted. Yeah, there you go. A volley took out those guys from the side. And then I'm going to go ahead and actually take some volleys, nasty volleys from those Romans. But I'm going to countercharge with both my guys. But I think it was worth it to look at that huge cluster of units I took out with my javelin volleys. And that is going to be against Eagle cohorts. That's going to even up the odds there. So we're going to be chewing through these formations. Meanwhile, Syrian archers in the back being taken out by my men. Over in this position, we've isolated the enemy general, plus the Eagle cohort. So the Romans may be very, very strong, but they're getting pulled apart. We're slicing through these guys at the seams, just unweaving this Roman defense piece by piece. And so now I guess we have the liberty to watch a little bit of this action. There you go. Some nice kills right there. Now let's see if we can actually take out the banner right here. I've actually never bothered to see if this guy has any battle animations. You'd think he might. I think he's mostly just defensive. Yeah, I think we're going to take him on. He has 4 guys around him. Looks like we're going to take out, hopefully seize the Eagles for the Lusitani in this battle. A reprisal for the massacres the Romans did against us, which they did actually do. That's some of the things that sparked the outrage of the several wars against the Lusitani, was numerous Roman massacres against the people of the area. But yeah, actually looks like he's going to start breaking some of my Balearic Slingers, but here come the Iberian swordsmen thrown into the mix. I think we're going to lose track of the Eagle. Yeah, I think we did. He seems to have gone down. So there you go. Like I said, we've captured the enemy Eagle. So that is going to be it. We're destroying this position. Cavalry of ours is going to be running around just destroying engaged Hastati units. Cleaned up this position, and now we're going to be engaged on this front against the Praetorian Guard. Once we got our Scutari cavalry within the city, You know, it's going to be the end of these Romans who can only really face one position against our warriors who are pretty confident in these types of battles. And there you go, charges into the rear of the Legionnaires. Over here, I'm going to completely just charge into the Praetorian Guard. They have a lot of units, so they should be able to hold out. This is one of the places where we won't necessarily crack through immediately, but we have the numbers to surround these guys. If I were the Romans, I would have pulled back to a more defensive position. But they are still doing pretty well. Auxiliary Syrian archers starting to do damage to my guys. I've already lost 30 men on very, very good troops, veteran shield warriors. But again, like I said, I'm putting them on the flank to try and get their javelins right into the Praetorian guards, and we'll see if that works. I am, however, taking, like I said, pretty heavy losses. Here comes the Triarii into the fight. I decide to accept that battle because I know it's only a matter of time before, yep, here we go, the roving bands of Scutari make it through. Meanwhile, over here, clean up another one of the Roman defensive positions. So if you look at this from above, we started over here by the market, destroyed the right, destroyed the left, and now the Roman defensive positions are slowly going to be whittled away. Over here, we've additionally broken through this position, and now this is going to be the last of the external Roman defensive positions. It looks like these Syrian archers know they're screwed, that the cavalry is coming through there, and they're going to try and commit to the fight. Let's see if we get, yeah, there we go. We're going to watch some of these cavalrymen come down from the hill, cutting through these guys with the acceleration right there coming downhill. This is freaking brutal, guys. I think despite the terrible launch that was Rome 2, I think this is kind of one of my favorite games for the various factions, the time period, the variety of the game, the different types of battles you get. It's really, really, really fun. But yeah, there you go. We cracked the Roman defenses here. All that was left was basically a couple Romans in the center. I wanted to play this out, but actually both of our opponents admitted defeat, unfortunately. But you can see, I mean, you had Lusitani here destroying the remnants of the eagle cohorts. We seized the eagle as we saw before, and now basically every avenue was going to be swarmed by our guys. Just a couple Roman units left, and of those, only one of those was a Praetorian. It seems like the rest were these Hastati guys. So yeah, almost no chance left from them. But anyways, fun battle. Hopefully I can bring more of the Lusitani to you in the future. I think that it's a very fun faction. They play pretty differently, and I really do love the swarm tactics as well. And I think the matchup against Rome is pretty historical. And I'd love to actually dig more behind the scenes into the Iberian and Lusitanian wars. Those are definitely very interesting. So if you do know more about those, please, you know, go ahead and leave some insight in the comments below. I'd love to hear about that. We can take a look at some of the stats here. So yeah, myself, I think getting MVP, yeah, most amount of kills. Yeah, all around, you can just bring tons and tons of units as the Lusitani. I really like that. The Romans going for more quality, but the problem with that, as we saw, means you get surrounded. Nonetheless, the player, what a fucking legend, still got, you know, 1,285 kills, so doing very well. Whereas this player who went the cheaper route just couldn't hold up against us. I think these guys just got swarmed. Hastati, gladiators, Syrian archers could not hold up. I guess maybe the only way is to go for quality against the Lusitani, as you saw here with the eagle cohorts and Praetorians. Definitely doing work. But interesting battle nonetheless. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you definitely in the next one. Like I said, leave your comments below. I always read those, and I enjoy looking through them. So, see you all in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.